Nervous?
We are live.
Are you nervous? You nervous, Jose?
No.
All right.
There's no reason to be nervous, man.
This is the 11th time Colin and I have done this now, and we are still not any good at it. So, but we're getting better. I believe we're getting better.
I think so too. I think so.
I could agree.
It's been a while since we did a podcast, though. It's been
Yeah.
at least 3 or 4 weeks.
It's been we did it I think the week before 4th of July,
Yeah.
and we haven't done one since. You've been traveling and moving, and
thought you
it's
did.
hard. We normally a lot of times we do these on Fridays,
Mhm.
and so it's kind of hard to have guests, obviously, because people work like later in the day and people have to come over. So I think we're gonna try to move this to the weekend,
Yep.
make it easier, and then you don't feel so bad drinking.
Yeah, and then you have a Sunday fun day with it.
Then you do a Sunday
You know?
fun day,
That's smart. That's the way to
and
do
so
it.
it's, Jose, you are our second guest on the Stack and
Yes,
Stout podcast.
sir.
So
Thank
welcome
you.
aboard.
Well,
Yes.
Happy to be
Woo.
here.
We came up with this weekend. We hung out together this weekend, got after it downtown Winter Garden, and in a drunken conversation, you said yes, and then we forced.
And then he went through with it.
And then
that
you went-
takes a lot of balls, man.
We've had some people that they're on the verge. Like it's a scary thing, I think, at first, knowing that your face is going to be on a YouTube video, and then it's just talking about random shit while you're drinking,
And then it stays there.
and then it stays there forever.
Yeah.
The internet.
10 years from now, you can watch this and be like, what the hell was I thinking?
When we look back, all of our kids will be like, "What were you guys
You
doing?
guys are so stupid.
Talking about random shit
We're having a
on
good
here."
Sunday.
And now we're having a great Sunday. So, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. We had a intriguing weekend. We had a great weekend. We
Yeah, we did.
I'll tell you what. So I'm gonna rant a little bit. This is
Do your
mine.
thing, buddy. I
So
know how passionate you are about this topic.
So
You can
there
tell
are
it.
very few things in the world that fires me up, that gets me super, super angry. One of
You're a
them-
pretty chill guy.
I'm a pretty chill guy, but
you know,
one of them
pretty
is
level-headed.
horrible service at a bar.
Okay.
So I was a bartender and a bar back and been in the service industry.
So you understand.
So I understand, like, you make your money being very, very good. Like, you serve people.
Mhm.
Right.
So we went to this bar, and I've already given it 2 chances already. It's called the Guest Bar. And if you're listening, which I don't know if you are, fuck you. Anyway, so we go to this bar yesterday. We're supposed to go to 60 Vines and
It's
eat.
gonna get wild.
And
Wait, let me take another.
so like we're trying to go there. I'm like, don't go here. I'm like, Tab, Colin, Carly, we're not going to this bar. And he just so wanted to go. And what's crazy is like the bar itself is really cool, which I think you might have gone, but the bar itself is pretty cool.
It's pretty
the
neat. Yeah.
ambience
The
is nice.
inside, it's
The
nice.
inside is
It's-
really cool.
yeah.
And it's right next to like a taco place, which is really good tacos.
that
And sometimes in
Taco China.
across the street is Taco China.
Yeah.
And then sometimes at nighttime, I don't know if you've gone at nighttime, if you go back in the parking lot behind, they'll do like market lights and they'll have like a food truck. And it's like super chill, super
Mhm.
cool.
Okay.
However, the people there, in my opinion, are lazy pieces of shit. Dude,
I
two
can
times before
confirm.
this, I sat at a bar and watched them just talk to people and not serve anyone while I'm sitting here with my card about to buy shots.
Yeah, that's just a bad experience.
So we are okay. So this got me fired up. We're trying to go there. I'm like, don't go here. This is horrible. Yada yada.
The whole way, it was a miserable car ride.
I am
to this
so
place.
upset right now.
The
I'm like,
whole
I can't
the whole
believe
time he's swearing.
I'm
bitching
giving some great options though. I'm like, we could go here. We can go here.
Say, Tab, I'm gonna ask you for one thing. You can, and we can go anywhere else.
Yeah,
I just asked for one thing. Let's just not go to this.
just
place.
not go to this place.
And we did.
So we go there, and it's like 12:45 in the afternoon because we have reservations at like 1:30 at 60 Vines. So we go to this place, and right on cue, we're the only 4 people at the bar. They let us sit there for a good 5 minutes without even acknowledging our existence on this planet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
First, yeah, we walked. I mean, yeah, we all 4 walked into this place, and not a single person even said hello.
No.
Nobody waved like, "Hey, welcome." You know, nothing. It was just
dude, they
walked in, sat down.
They just
Didn't
walked
even,
around,
Didn't even look at us.
walked around while we're sitting there, to the point where I was like, I'm done. So I just got up and left, and thank God everybody else fell. I'm like,
Wow,
So I created my.
You're all right. We had to follow you.
Yeah.
You're
either
right.
staying
the
here-
only one that stayed.
You had the car. Yeah. You had the car. Of course, we didn't.
You're
I
choice.
came here to eat.
You can stay here for another 15 minutes and hope and pray that they're gonna even say
We
hello.
didn't really have a choice.
Dude, and then I was so upset that I created a Yelp account.
Oh.
And this is how I created
so
a Yelp
petty.
account
Such a
just
petty
for
thing to
this
do.
specific thing because 3 times now I've sat in there and no service at all.
Yeah.
And I looked
So
and
what made you go give it a third
Tabs.
try?
it tapped. It
Savvy.
wasn't me. I was
He was
I learned
very.
my lesson the second time. I don't
It's
want
the
to go
first
back
2
to the third.
times, yeah.
He was very animated and very
Uh.
straight to the point of why he did not want to go to this place.
And the fact that they did exactly the things that I said I didn't want to go for is remarkable to me. I'm glad it happened the way it did because then now we'll never go back.
I am too. I was sitting at the bar because what he was explaining, I couldn't picture it, but once we got there, exactly what he said happened, and I was just sitting at the bar. I was laughing. I thought it was the most amusing thing in the world because you were so mad.
Dude.
You're at the bar, fucking. You're like, Tab, let's just fucking go, man. This place fucking sucks. At the bar, and they're just the 3 bartenders are just standing there, and they said, "This place fucking sucks. Let's
I was
just
like a
go
little,
already."
I was like a little bitch.
And so I'm
About
just
to
sitting there.
cry.
I'm just
I mean-
sitting there laughing. It was hilarious.
Now the end result is the Yelp.
So the Yelp review, they're blacklisted. I'll tell you what, anybody is open to go there, but just don't expect me to join you. I will
No.
go, if everybody goes there, I will walk to actually right next door is called the Sun Bar
Okay.
or the Sun Room.
Well, that's where the restaurant is, right?
No,
Right.
so it's a whole nother like bar. Like the restaurant was a taco place to the left. To the right, it's called the Sunroom. I guess it's like the same owners. But that place is really cool, and they actually like to serve people alcohol. They actually
Well, if
like
it's
to,
owned
like,
by the same people, how do you explain? Why is that bar so bad and the other place is really good?
I don't understand. It's like a bunch of hipster. Like they don't even care about money. Like I don't understand. Like why are you even a bartender if you're not
gonna
trying to
put in
make
the time.
money? Like we would have.
It's kind of a waste.
I will say this
Because you're not making a good
No.
hourly
Yeah.
salary. Yeah,
No.
I mean,
well, I mean, you got to think like
$8?
we were ready to go yesterday. Like we were ready to have a good day drinking day, which we ended up doing. We bounced around, but like we could have spent a good amount of money on like shots and drinks if you just would have like served, like do your
Yeah.
basic job, which
Yeah.
is say hello and give us a menu
And they never would have told us that the bar was closed.
yeah. So we
They were
found
just
out
gonna sit
later
there.
that the bar doesn't open till 1, and so they literally
we were
gonna
there,
they
we
were
were
gonna
there at like 12:40.
yeah, we were,
They didn't
yeah,
say-
something like
they
that. They were
didn't
going to
say
literally sit there and let us wait for 20 minutes without saying a word to us until the bar opened.
Oh, man.
And
So
they
not
might
even
not
when
have
you
even
walked
said
in.
a word. Once they opened, they still probably not have said anything to us. I don't know. It was crazy.
Yeah, I
It
thought
was, it was very awesome to watch. I'm not gonna lie. I could have stayed for another 10, 20 minutes, honestly, and just watched Nate the whole time.
Oh my god,
I was enjoying it.
So, but yeah, so we bounced around. We went to like a M Lounge where all the cars are. The girls sat in the cars, despite the fact that every car has a sticker that says "Do not touch." So they thought they were above the law, and they did that.
Hey.
And then we came home, and Colin and I are like, we do not want to go out anymore. And the girl's like, we are going out. And at
I
that
mean,
point in time, you
everybody-
realize that Colin and I's authority over the women is non-existent. So we
Doesn't
do
mean
what,
anything.
we do whatever we do whatever the girls do. We have no choice. The whole day, guest house, going out.
Oh man.
But what were
It
you?
was
What
a
is
You
it?
on the other
It
hand,
was a good night.
you on the other hand were working. You had to work while we were out yelling at. Well, I wasn't yelling at by not getting served. You had to work.
Yes. Yes.
So give us a little rundown. Give us a story of Jose Tobar's life.
Well, I mean, just to talk a little bit. And once again, thank you for letting me be on the podcast.
Oh, dude.
So this starting point was very interesting. I didn't know you can get angry.
It takes a lot.
It's the first time I've ever seen very animated like that.
There you go.
I had to get that off my chest.
Quite scary. Like, Jesus Christ, Nate. Didn't know you had it in you.
But yeah, coming back, I'm a banker, so I'm a private banker. I can't talk about the institution because I have to pre-clear every time I want to talk about who do I work for. But you can check me out on LinkedIn and you'll probably find out. Yeah, I had to wake up the next morning and go after a couple of drinks, so I had to do what I need to do and take a cold shower and go to work. But I basically tell people how to manage their money, how to live a better life, how to make sure that they have the concepts, the financial concepts down, so they can retire early or have enough money to keep them in retirement to last them until they pass away or something, or they can leave a legacy behind, and just make good, knowledgeable decisions when it comes to money. Because at the plate, like, I mean, obviously what I do for a living, I see a lot of people get a lot of money and then they just blow it all. So if you don't have a good banker, if you don't have a good financial advisor, if you don't have someone that helps you manage it, you can just blow it.
What are like some of the biggest mistakes that you're seeing people when they come to you?
Oh man, so I mean, like 70% of people don't have $1,000 in an emergency fund. So that's
Like just money that stashed away in case something bad
case
happens.
somebody
in
hacks
case
your account and takes all your money.
In case someone hacks your account, takes all your money, you don't have $1,000 stacked away. I think it was like the numbers changed after obviously all the reserves and everybody that's been outside of a job, and I think it lowered down to like 40. But it's still like that's you talking about 40% of Americans without $1,000 of an emergency fund. That's crazy.
Now, like an emergency fund, is that like a checking account?
So
a
that's
savings account?
basically
How,
like-
what kind of fund are you talking about?
So like I'm talking about like a net worth of $1,000.
Wow. Okay.
So if you're saying, hey, I have credit card bills, I have debt, I have all this, but then your net, like your expenses and what you owe doesn't match what you have, and you don't have a little bit more, then that's what I'm talking about.
So basically, like money left over if you were to take everybody's all your expenses, after you've done everything, paid everything,
Right.
to have like an extra $1,000 that
Sitting aside.
just sitting aside, not touching it, that in case an emergency, something happens, an accident happens, you're able to pull from that.
Right.
40% of the people that you've seen.
40% of the people in America don't have that. That's
Is
that's a
crazy.
number.
I
And
don't think I probably don't either.
I mean, that's a lot. That's like a lot of people.
and
I
see,
think
and
I'm
that,
part of that 40%.
and that's where you want to start. So it's like usually what you want to, like, I mean, in its financial concepts that people don't teach you until you get to that place of work. It's like I didn't learn a lot of this stuff in high school. Like I wouldn't have known. Like you don't talk about it. They don't
like
teach you like that.
Nah,
they don't
nothing.
teach any financial
Exactly.
stuff.
They really do.
I think one time they had like an economics class, but like it only lasted like 1 year. Like they
Yeah.
don't teach any financial responsibility or anything.
You don't
like
get taught
that.
any life skills in
No.
fucking high school.
No, you don't. You don't.
You learn about Christopher Columbus, and that's about it.
who was a horrible
And-
human being, by
and
the way.
Trigonometry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. But I mean,
Calculus.
just having the basics there. Like I mean, you need to obviously live within your means.
Mhm.
So that's like a basic understanding. A lot of people can't grasp that concept.
Trying to be something you're not.
Yeah,
Trying to,
don't try to
buy
impress
the
people
next
that-
big thing, thinking that you can.
Everything's so awesome that I buy.
Yeah.
Like I think everything I
Like,
need,
I need to have it.
Like the
I
jersey,
got that.
dude, I just bought the Space Jam jersey.
Fucking sick ass.
The Michael Jordan Space
Yeah,
Jam jersey.
love
Oh,
it.
it was only $15.
Well, see, that's
But-
that's understandable. Like I mean,
This is a necessity, right?
You
It's
need
like,
that.
I need this jersey. I haven't worn it yet, but I need it somewhere.
Well, the needs and the wants, those are the things that you have to figure out. But I mean, there's apparently, I didn't even know this until recently, and there's a group called FIRE.
Okay.
And every young college student that comes and visits me, I tell them about it because it's true. Like it's something that they look forward to, and it's financial independence, retire early. So then they go to work, and then they live on like half of their income, and they save the rest and invest the rest.
So
Or
this
they
is a
live
group?
on
This is a group?
25%.
This is like a
So
group,
yes,
okay.
so that's like something that obviously has been in social media and everything. So I try to like base my expenses on that, and I was like, okay, let me see if I can do this, and then by the age of 35, 40, then you can retire because you have some money saved. And,
35, 40, my God.
you know, so like
What
instead
a
of
life.
waiting for 60 or something like that. But then the hard part is having the discipline in order to live with 50% of what you make. And then,
True.
you know,
For
I would get so.
pretty much the prime of your life.
I
dude,
mean,
you know.
I don't know if-
exactly.
That's,
Yeah,
that's,
that's
the hard part.
That's the hard part.
I don't know
yeah.
if I want to. Okay, so as great as that would be, me personally, I don't know if I want to retire by 40. Like I would get so bored, and I would spend all my money in one. Like I have to find something to like
40,
fill my time.
40 is young, man. I mean, if you're retiring at 40.
Like you
that's-
got to, in my opinion, you got to have a shit ton because we're gonna live in our generation. We're gonna crack 100. I think so. With all technology and the way health is, it's gonna only get better. And you got to think that all of three of us are gonna be in our 100. So you're gonna have to have money to spread out over 60 plus years.
Correct.
And then at the same time, how good is retirement if you can't like enjoy it?
Well, and that's the thing. Like a lot of people don't have. They think retirement is like, okay, you worked and now you're gonna go and sit back. Like I can't do that. So I would start a business or start something else, but then you no longer have to do the 9 to 5 of an everyday job. But then you could find what you're passionate about and then go make money that way.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
And that is where that's the
true.
retirement that comes into play.
That's true.
You know?
Then you have your stash that you saved up that kind of like floats you while you're kind of doing the things you actually love to do.
I saw so this is out of the content of this, but I ended up seeing like a number that said if someone plays the lottery. I don't know if do you guys play the lottery?
Only when it's the big ones.
Yeah.
When it's like the ones are like 700 million
Same,
and
yeah.
stuff like that.
Once it starts getting up there.
Because like at the end of the day, what if I win on the lottery of $1 million? That's chump change. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Give me the big ticket ones. Give me the big ticket ones. I want 9 figures. That's what I want.
So it's like, well,
It's 12
and this is not like to promote any kind of like cryptocurrency or anything like that, but I ended up seeing that
How
if
much
you were
12
playing
figures is?
or putting like $1 into like the Florida Lotto, the chances of you winning are like 1 in like millions.
Well, you're more likely to get struck by lightning,
Yeah.
right? Or something like that.
Which isn't as fun.
Yeah, but if you
Not
would have done
nearly.
the same thing and put that money into like whatever, an IRA or like stocks or like
Yeah.
something in Amazon or crypto in that change, you would have had a lot of money by
Yeah.
That's
18 years.
Dude, the problem with this, so I do like the IRA stuff. So I put like, what was it, like the 50, I follow like they say, it's almost like the 50, 30, 20 rule.
Okay.
I heard like 50% you put you put away. 20, it's like 20% or something like that you put into your investments of your income, and then the 30% you kind of keep as your own, or it's something numbers like
Something
that.
spend 50 invest or save 50, invest 30.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you're saving
spend 20.
50, then you're saving half your income.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, if you can do
Like,
that,
you-
right? I mean, that would put towards like bills. I would say that would go.
Okay,
towards,
okay,
like,
that's your expenses. So that's your
yeah.
mortgage. That
Yeah,
your
that's the
car.
necessities
Okay,
that you're having to do,
now it
right?
makes-
Yeah.
But then I've done like I have like I have a trading account. I have a couple IRA accounts.
Good.
Because you guys like those are tax based. You can get like at the end of the year you can get like your taxes taken out because
Right,
like
right.
stuff like that. But the hard part is just finding where you're putting that money. Like
Mhm.
I focus a lot on like tech ETFs.
Okay.
I've tried to get into like some marijuana, like weed ETFs, because like looking long term, you got to think that marijuana, weed is about to be legal.
Probably,
I think
yeah.
they're already talking about like in the federal, like they're already starting to push like trying to make it legal in the federal government. But like, I think once that's done, that's gonna be like a huge booming sector of the market that you can make a lot of money long term in.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So those are like the two like sectors I'm trying to focus on, but it's just hard to like find.
But then that's when
Yeah.
we come in.
There you go. So we just come to you next time. Instead of putting my money on Popcoin over here, I'll go to Jose. I'm like, listen,
Yeah,
I'm about to do a popsicle coin over here. Is that a good investment? He's like, you are an idiot.
I have told people, I'm like, if you are okay with losing almost all your money and you feel comfortable with it, then go.
Then do your thing.
Then do your thing.
Put as much as you want
Yeah.
into it.
I'll tell you what, I made I put like $50 in for Dogecoin when it was like
Oh.
the thing. I got out at 700.
There you go.
I
There you
put
go.
50 in, got out $700, and
You got out of
I
700?
got 100 at 700. It was like at 70 cents or something like that at the peak. It was right before Elon Musk when
And
he went on
announced
SNL
SNL and crashed it.
and crashed it. And I was like, so I put like a little stop limit in there because I said either this thing is going to skyrocket to the moon or it's going to tank after this episode. And unfortunately, it tanked.
Yeah.
So it triggered my stop loss, so I got out. But I was like, all right. So I reinvested back into like $50. I'm like, I'm already up like $700. Why wouldn't I just reinvest it and see what happens? Like Bitcoin stuff, I feel like those are long term. Like you
Yeah.
can try.
It's a long-term play, but when it comes to cryptocurrency, again, and then obviously this is not investment advice or anything like that. What we're talking here,
We are
Just-
Hey, I-
whatever Jose's saying, we are guaranteeing that you're gonna make this money off Jose's trade
I am
advice.
just listening and learning right now, honestly, dude.
But like when it comes to crypto, it's a different type of environment. It's something that a lot of people don't know. And then obviously they're here to compete against banks. So they're different currencies, but it's hard to know how they're making money. And then on my side, I like to invest in things that I see potential, I see return, I see how a company is making money because they're being profitable, they're delivering on returns, or they're delivering on their quarter reviews. Like, so they have those strong balance sheets, they're making money, like Amazon, like Apple, like all those, Facebook, Google, like they're gonna keep making money. So if you put your money in something like that, you're gonna be good in the long run if you don't panic. A lot of people, a lot of things in my job, it's emotional intelligence when it comes to investing. So you have to just you don't have to put all your money in it. So that's why you establish basics. So you going back to the basics, you want to have 15% going into your retirement, like your 401k. If you can't put 50%, start with 5 and then just add up whatever the company matches. Then after that, you want to have 3 to 6 months of emergency expenses in your savings, because that's what you want to touch first. So if something were to happen, you're like, okay, my stocks are losing 50% of value. I'm not going to pull from the stock because now I'm realizing the loss. I'm going to take from the emergency fund or my savings account.
It's fake money in the stock market until you actually pull it out.
Exactly. And then once it comes up, I mean, that's when you're like, okay. So, but the whole strategy behind what I do and what we focus with our clients is either dollar cost averaging, and you can never time the market, so you just have to go in and hold long term. Because at the end of the day, it's going to compound and it's going to keep going up. But when it comes to Dodge, right now, Bitcoin, crypto has been plummeting. And is because of the new regulations that are coming in, is because of everything that's happening in
China. Like China's deregulated. Like I think there's like one country I think that had made it a currency. It was somewhere in South America that
it was I think it was Uruguay or one of them ended up saying, okay, now we can use this as currency. But in the U.S., they weren't regulating transactions over like 10,000 on crypto. So if you were making all this money, like you didn't have to report, you didn't have to do anything. So like whenever they start taxing that hardcore or taxing like stocks, I mean, you're gonna see a pushback.
Yeah.
I think it's here to stay. Obviously, it told us it's gonna stay.
Well, you're gonna see we're gonna see what happens
in the next couple of years.
Cryptocurrency has brought excitement to the younger generation into investing. Like what led into, because that was like the whole meme thing, right? So it started with cryptos, and a lot of us younger people got into cryptos because it was like this exciting thing, which then naturally led into like the meme stocks and stuff like that. Then you have like Robinhood, like an app, like they kind of gamify. Even though I just got off Robinhood because that whole shit with the AMC stock
thing. Yeah.
Oh man,
that shit. I was as mad as I was about Guest House, but because it's like I didn't expect anything of it. But I'm like, man, they just like crushed all those Wall Street bets guys by halting trading, and like you hear about their reasoning behind it, and I guess and once again, I don't know like the whole background, but there's got to be.
I can't comment on that.
I can't. Yeah, there's got to be some question about it. That's like, dang,
I want to get you fired.
These things are going to the moon, and you just literally just stopped all these young people, and so I think that led hopefully to our generation getting more active in the stock market and like understanding like the purpose of it. Because I follow that Wall Street Bets a lot, and these people, they might talk a weird ass language, call apes and retarded and all that stuff. Like that's what they call each other while they're trying to place trades. But I think that's a good thing. That's like another, for the first time you have a generation that's trying to make money, which you're, like you said, we're not taught in school. Like no one teaches any of this stuff in schools. Like you're kind of like left out to open.
Yeah.
So
I mean, but then see, they're also getting hurt because like the meme stuff are taking a hit, and it's also time. Like it's not always gonna take forever. If you are making money right now in those type of industries and like the hardcore investments, you want to take your profits, you want to put it aside, and then you want to keep a portion of whatever you're investing in that, but don't go all in. Because I've seen people, they ended up saying, you know what, my stocks are performing at 10%. I could have made 100% in Dogecoin. I'm going to take 50% of that and put it into Dodge at the peak.
And then
the worst thing
they just lost 50% of the money. They're like, oh my God.
And I watched I've been like in the financial sector for, 2021, right? So like 12 years. So I've worked mostly like currency exchange, Forex.
Nice.
So we did I worked for a
That's
couple.
hard.
Dude, you're telling me like I was a sales rep and we tried to work on that stuff. And that thing is like, that's wild. That market is super wild. That's so volatile. But like you can spend like so little money to try to like trade and stuff like that. So that's how I ended up getting into investing and trading, was through this old company I worked at. And I'm just like, man, these people are putting in a lot of money.
Yeah.
And fuck it.
Yeah.
But
No, but you have to invest. I mean, for everybody watching, you have to do that. You have to start investing because your money is not going to do anything nowadays. Especially for our generation, it's not going to do anything sitting in a savings account paying 0.01%, paying 0.5, which is the max some other banks give. So you want to put some money to work.
Is there like a place, like you said that fire, right? Is that a place that people can go and like get help? Like, so hypothetically, they're not going to go reach out to someone like you or stuff like that. But if you go online and try to get some advice, like free advice, is there a certain place that you know of?
I would always recommend to go to your bank.
Okay.
Like you have someone at the bank that's always gonna advise you and help you or recommend stuff. Or if they don't recommend because they can't do it based on their job title, they're gonna say, hey, go here and find the information. So something that I feel like everybody should read across the board is the Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey.
Total Money Makeover.
So that you can go online on YouTube.
I think I'd follow him on YouTube.
Yeah. So he talks about a lot of this, and he has the same kind of aspects and admirations as bankers and what they do, but he doesn't believe in credit cards, which I don't kind of agree with that because credit cards also give you points, and then you can do.
You do stuff.
Yeah, you do a lot of stuff with that, and then you're not using your money, you're using the bank's money. But on that concept, like he's very good into like staying out of debt, basically doing good financial decisions in order to keep moving forward in your life. But I think something like that, getting knowledge of those type of books. Money by Tony Robbins, that's another type of book that if you read that, you should know what you want to put your money in because it gives you a lot of information.
Mm-hmm.
So those two I think will be a good selections for people to get, and then obviously talking to their bankers or going to an institution because by law their institution has to be fiduciaries, which means that they're doing what's best in their interest before the companies, before their own. So if you have some good people out there, then they should give you some good advice.
Dude.
Wow. I gotta start getting into that.
This is it. We just had our most intellectual. We're only like I don't know how long into this podcast, but this is the most intellectual podcast we've ever had.
Honestly, dude, I'm honestly just sitting here listening and trying to take everything in that he's saying. Honestly,
I mean,
just trying to learn.
It's fantastic. I will say that this is definitely. I know that not we
a lot of people should be listening to
Yeah.
what he's saying right now.
This is
because
like
I am,
something.
and
Yeah.
it's definitely something that I've always wanted to get into, like stocks, investing my money, being smart with my money, and just got to listen and put it forward and actually do it.
So when you're not banking, so we went over to my dog almost died on the way to your dog's birthday.
What?
Wow. Big change.
Big change.
Oh, man.
Because we're talking, I want to talk about
happened?
one of his hobbies, soccer, and so we ended up going. So real briefs. I don't know if I've mentioned this story, but so you had a dog. Your dog turned 2 or 1? One. Okay.
That's a 1-year-old dog.
A German Shepherd,
Yeah.
right?
Woo.
And so I was
Huge.
down in downtown Winter Garden, and I had Sunny, our little ass dog, like this big. And as I'm driving, I put her in the car. I start moving, and I had the window down, and she runs and leapfrogs over my lap out the window.
Oh man.
And so I'm like, holy
Did you catch it? Like,
shit. I
The dog
just
is
ran
dead.
over my dog or something, right? Tabby is in front of me. She immediately stops. And I'm like, I am in deep trouble right now. I am in deep trouble. I open, and like her leash is like straight. I'm like, okay, the dog might be strangled to death, maybe. It's either ran over or strangled to death.
Oh,
and I am
no.
terrified because, yes, I love the dog, but I'm more terrified of the reaction I'm about to get from my wife because she's about to kill me. So if the dog's
Yeah.
dead, I'm dead. So
Yeah,
my life is
absolutely.
so I.
That'll be the same
Please
with
don't
me.
be dead. I
Oh
don't
my
want to
God,
die.
damn it!
Please
Oh
don't be
God,
dead. I don't
I'm
want to
about
die.
My life is over. So I open.
He's like, I'm not coming home today.
Yeah. I'm just gonna pack up and just leave. That's my best for the whole situation. So I open the door, and so she has a body harness, not like the neck collar, a body harness. So I
It's a
open-
good thing you put the body harness on her.
Oh my God! Yeah, I want to snap her neck. I open the door, and here's the dog with this innocent look on me, hanging from my door on my car like this, because the leash got caught around a seatbelt, so it like didn't let her fall. Okay. So she's outside my car door like this, like just looking at me,
Just swinging.
swinging
Swinging back and
hanging
forth.
back and forth. And I'm like, I should have taken a picture. I didn't.
It's like, wait.
And I was like,
we gotta take this picture first.
I was like, oh my God. And so I'm like, thank God. So I pick her up, put her back in. We go, and so she's live. She's live. She's still moving around, being a little asshole. But anyway, we go to your place, and you have like a half soccer field there.
Yeah.
So you're a huge soccer
So
fan.
you're a huge soccer fan.
Yes.
Didn't you have like a league or something that you said that you were?
So we had it was called Tobar's Field at the time, and it's still like that. But my dad ended up investing into this 2-acre lot in Winter Garden, which is booming. So he did pretty good.
Smart man.
Yeah, I was like, good job.
Well done, Dad.
Well done. He taught me everything I know. So, but he ended up. He's like, hey, you have what you want to do with the field. If you wanna run a league, let's run a league. So then I ended up, before Irma happened, I ended up putting some money into it, and then I put new grass. I bought the paint, and then I just made it into a huge, basically like an 8-on-8 soccer field. I was charging like $7 per head for people to come out and play. So it was my small business, right? I was doing that on the side, so I opened the doors on Tuesdays and Thursdays just for people to come out and play. I started with just the field in like sand, and then after that, we started playing. Then I put the grass. Then we started playing with the grass. Then I put poles around it to make sure it's nice.
Yeah, so like the ball.
Yeah,
and
the
keep
ball
the ball
doesn't
from like
fly
flying
out.
all over the place. Yeah.
So we did that, and then after Irma came in, I put new sod. I had the idea. I'm like, oh, in Florida, everybody closes their fields in summer. I'm like, let me go ahead and do the work on the winter so I can open the fields in summer.
Smart man.
I mean, they do that because hurricane season comes around summer,
Yeah.
all the way until August. So
You're
then
playing like giant mud soccer like the whole time.
So what happened is that I invested all this money afterwards, everything that I got back from the business, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna make my business grow and make it pretty. And when I put it on the field, I was ready to open on like summer, and then Irma came. And then it destroyed my field. It flooded all my investment, and then just all the poles were like off, and then we kind of stopped. But we still continue like here and there just to do open play. That's what we started doing the party, and we have events. Like yesterday, we ended up doing a friend of mine had his 28th birthday, and
Or I don't.
his girlfriend was like, hey, I want to plan a surprise party for him, and she just went. And like she cooked everything, she planned it all, she had like 6 DJs out there, she had a water slide, so it was a pretty fun event. But in the 2-acre lot, I mean, that's kind of what we do, that's kind of what we use.
I like the setup. Yeah, I like the setup. So the setup's got like a cool area. So not only you have the soccer field, but at the end of it, you have like this little area with like a TV, like an indoor kind of outdoor area. Super cool. We could definitely get some people.
I would do that.
Colin,
I would love to see that.
Colin is
for
working.
sure.
What's it called? The Gold Cup.
Yeah, I don't know if you're familiar with the Gold Cup. It's in Orlando, but
It's Orlando and Dallas, right?
well, it's in Orlando. It's all over the United States. It's Orlando. It's in Dallas. It's in I want to say St. Louis.
Okay.
I believe, and the championship is in Las Vegas.
Good stuff. So
But-
how you managed to get that?
Oh, because I'm a freelancer. So what I did was when I moved down here, well, actually before I moved down here, I found in every state, in every like major city in each state, there's a local crewer that crews for. So like say ESPN would have an event for a football game in Tampa Bay, right? So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would be playing somebody. So the crewer, ESPN would contact this crewer and be like, hey, I need local freelancers to fill in these positions for this broadcast.
Nice.
And so basically I found who the local crewer was in Florida, and she does like everything from Orlando up to Jacksonville down to Miami.
Okay.
And so basically, so I got in contact with her, and so now she's crewing all these events. So I've been working recently these soccer tournaments. I do a lot of soccer, like Orlando City. I think everything I've worked so far has been soccer. I've never really been a huge soccer fan. Like I've never gotten into it. But the more that I worked this international tournament, this Gold Cup, it's honestly, it's really fun to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Good.
Like I respect soccer. The only thing I wish the injury thing was a little. That's
It's like fat. Oh god.
Yeah, that's a downside. But other than that, dude, soccer.
Well, it's not much more different than basketball. Like everybody's flopping in basketball.
Basketball's the same. Yeah, basketball's the same. But I'm not really into basketball either. So.
Exactly.
But
Well, the players are protecting themselves. So, like, I mean, if you have someone like Neymar, which he flops a lot, and I don't really like Neymar like that. I think he's a great player, but I do Cristiano Ronaldo, and then some people might be like, oh man. But he does flop because he wants to also protect himself. So people would, if you were watching the cup earlier, obviously Argentina ended up taking the win, and it's great because Messi hasn't had a cup with his team for years.
You talking about the Euro? Or?
No, the what was the one that just recently passed, Copa America.
Okay.
So Copa America, Messi has never won a cup with the Argentina team.
National team with the
national team.
Okay.
So this one was a huge victory for him. And I mean, Brazil should have been playing like they played the last 20 minutes the whole game, but they kind of like they did a mistake, and that's the fun stuff about soccer is like one mistake can cost you the whole game. But what happens when Neymar, everybody was going after him. Everybody will go ahead and follow him, and then he needs to protect himself because an injury like what happened to him on the World Cup, that he got hit in the back of his.
I do remember this.
Yeah,
part,
like I mean that's him like playing full on. So if he gets injured like that, he's out for not just the national team, but he's also out for the next couple games. He's out for the club teams. So that is going to put a huge damper on the club, and so they tell him, like sometimes the coaches or sports are like, hey, if you can get a foul in the penalty area because someone kicked you, go ahead and do it. You know, so it's also theatrics, but
I would say that it's like baseball. So soccer to me is like baseball. It's way better in person than it is. I guess most sports are better in person than they are. But soccer in person is amazing. Like,
soccer is
Orlando City. They made that new stadium. That new stadium was
fire.
Yeah,
amazing.
Everybody should go check it out.
That was the first time I ever watched like a professional soccer game, and it was very eye opening how talented some of these people were, how fast they are, how big these players are big, man. They're built.
That's not even, and what's even crazier is like you think like that's not even close to the talent that you see at like overseas, like that. Yeah. When you see like those guys playing like for Barcelona.
I was playing. I don't know.
The Euro Cup just happened right now. Like you're seeing like the champions. Was the Champions Cup? Is that?
It was a Euro Cup, and obviously the Copa America, and right now with the Gold Cup.
Yeah. So the Gold Cup teams in Orlando right now were. I don't know if they're any good, but it was Jamaica, Costa Rica, Guadalupe, and
so Costa Rica. I'm actually going to go see that game on Tuesday. So
you're going?
Yeah, of course. My wife is from
nice.
Costa Rica, so I was like.
So they're playing. Is that when they played Jamaica?
No, I don't think they're playing Jamaica. I think they're playing Sentinel. I don't know. So my wife was like, "Hey,
Suriname."
Yeah, my wife was like, "Hey, I want to go see them." So my family's getting tickets. You coming with? I'm from Ecuador.
Is she Costa Rican?
Yeah, she's from Costa Rica.
Is she?
So I'm from Ecuador, and I'm like, I stayed with them. I'm like, Costa Rica sucks, but then she's like, no.
Wow.
But then she's like, no. I mean, it's a really good team. I think they're obviously the guy, the goalie. He got the Golden Gloves for the best goalie, like back in the World Cup. So he played for Real Madrid.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Taylor
Costa
Navas. Rica.
Yeah.
I tried when I was there. I tried to find a list of the top players in the world to see if any of them were on these countries that were playing in Orlando, and I couldn't find one. But
I don't know. Well,
so there are some good talent on Costa Rica.
Costa Rica, yeah. Costa Rica has good talent too. And they play a nice game. A nice game. I can't.
They're quick, man. They were down 1-0 the other day, and then they scored 2 goals in literally 30 seconds.
They came back.
And the entire stadium was like Costa Rican. Yeah.
So are you filming that? Is that at Orlando City or is that at the?
At the Orlando Exploria.
Okay. Not the Central
Exploria
Florida
Stadium. Yeah.
Dude, that stadium is amazing.
It's pretty sweet.
I think for a soccer only. So the first soccer only stadium in the United States was in Columbus. The Columbus Crew. So watched them when I was younger. But Orlando City Stadium is just like, and it's like cheap. It's not even expensive to go to a soccer match.
Somebody was telling me a story. There's actually a church right next to the new stadium.
Yeah,
and because MLS granted Orlando a team, and they wanted to build the stadium where the church is located, and so Orlando City and MLS were offering this guy millions of dollars to sell his church, and he would not do it.
No.
He never did it, and so they ended up He ended up not getting any money from it and building a giant stadium
right
next to his fucking church.
See, so that's something that you need to go in to a banker and be like, hey,
yeah, man.
Should I take that was a bad. Really you could build a church anywhere else. That was a bad investment decision.
Is your pride really worth it, man?
Listen, God
and they were offering him.
Listen, I bet you, God wouldn't mind you moving your church somewhere else and building a nicer one in memorial.
I think they were offering somewhere between like $5 to $10 million for this little lot. I mean, it's not a big church either. But
that's what's happening with. That's what did happen, or I don't know if they resolved that. So Orlando, across from the Amway Center, they're building they broke ground. They're building a giant entertainment center, like an outdoor entertainment venue. So if you ever look up like LA Live, it's something similar to this. Like it's gonna be hotels, outdoor concert area, literally across the Amway because they're trying to build.
That's gonna be sweet.
Yeah, and then they have this marketplace underneath the I-4. So they're trying to. I think they're trying to build like that from the soccer stadium to the basketball, like a giant indoor, like a giant arena district, like entertainment district of Orlando, because Orlando itself is tiny.
Well, they got to clean up that area anyway by Amway and Exploria because it's getting bad.
Yeah. So I think there's a church. I think there's another either a church or something else that's did the same.
They're doing the same thing
for that venue. And
they're not selling.
They're not. They weren't selling forever. It's like Jesus, man. Like all this, like you could help a lot of people,
man.
They also have somebody telling them, no, this is worth more, or they can give you more.
Yeah.
They can give you more. Don't do it. And then it's like, well, if you don't do it for this, then you're going to lose it on everything.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I know, man.
I think Orlando City's good, though, this year. Or at least they started off good. So I've been out of get kicked out of a soccer game. We got kicked out of a Orlando City game.
what you would do.
So we got tickets on the.
How do you get being kicked out of a sporting event? Man, you have to be
at this guest house.
Okay.
You
There's a lot of drunk people at a sporting event. You really got to stand out to get kicked out.
So what happened was, we are on the end. We're behind. We're not behind the goal. So we're front row. I would say to across the field from the hooligan section.
Okay.
So you have so we're across the field, and we're like on the almost like the right corner of the stadium, front row. And so the way Orlando City has it set up is like they have like almost like a track that goes around like a small a track. I don't know, like a 10, 15 foot that separates the stadium, like the stands, from the actual field itself.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened was, me and my buddy. A soccer ball gets kicked over by us and bounces out of bounds and onto that track. And Orlando City's down like 3-2 at this point in time. And it's like the 85th minute. He jumps out of his seat over the fence, over like the wall right here, to grab it and throw it back. And immediately security comes flying over.
Yeah.
Just grabs him, takes him to soccer jail.
Sounds awful.
That's out the soccer jail.
Sounds awful.
And I'm like, God damn it, because it was like towards the end. I was like, we can't wait. We couldn't last the whole game, so I go to get him out of soccer jail. And in that period of time, Orlando City scores a goal to tie it. It goes into extra time, and they win the game in extra time. All the time, I'm trying to get my buddy out of soccer jail.
Oh my God! What do you have to bail them out? Do they have a
they
little
just
bail?
they just hold. I think they just
a little mini bail.
They hold you there for a little bit. Make sure
you can calm down.
And then
it's like a drunk tank.
Yeah, and then they just let him go. Like he wasn't allowed back in the stadium, so then he just let him.
Is he banned for life?
I don't know. He was banned for like a year or something like that.
Really?
He definitely
got a ban. Yeah, they gotta have.
He
some
definitely
kind of
got banned on that one.
He probably had a TV while he was sitting there in soccer jail.
Watching his replay. I'm like watching his replay of him getting fucking tackled.
And like they ended up scoring the goal. It would, if we would have stayed, if he wouldn't have gone to soccer jail, we would have watched the game tie and the game winning goal would have happened literally right in front of us.
It would have been a great game.
And the place would have been like electric.
Was it packed?
It was slammed.
They get some good. Yeah, they get some.
Yeah, I think we were talking about going to a game. What was it? I think they're playing Atlanta, which I think Atlanta's like the
they're playing
rivals.
in a couple of weeks. We should all go to that. That'd be fun.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It's only like $20 to go to a game.
Yeah,
and you can get a seat anywhere in that stadium because it's so steep. I mean, you're literally right on top of the field.
Yeah, it's
not a bad seat now.
It's a cool spot.
It's
a cool
spot.
spot.
It's a good stadium. Orlando's pretty good for that.
Dude, they were. What was it? England. They just lost the.
Oh
England
my
lost
God.
to Italy and the. What was that? I don't know.
I think they haven't won a cup since 1966.
66.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who,
They haven't-
Italy?
England.
No, England.
Oh, England.
They haven't even.
Ooh,
I don't even know
man.
if they've been to a final since then.
Yeah. Yeah. They
I
haven't
think
And it
been
was
to a final
in England.
It was at Wembley Stadium.
Yeah,
and-
it was on their home. I mean, Italy is just.
They're
it's
never.
a beast team. They just had some. They had good plays. England had some good attacking too. I mean, it was a good game.
Dude, they
That-
messed up.
that
they,
was
they
a much
missed.
better
They
game.
missed some. They missed some
If
penalty
England-
kicks.
yeah.
If they could have converted on a couple of those penalty kicks,
So
that goalie is that okay?
That
question.
goalie was awesome.
Is that goalie good or lucky?
No, he's good. But then when it comes to penalties, I mean, and people are different. My take on penalties is that it's 50% luck, and then it's also like 50% skill. And obviously, the luck part, it goes on the keeper side too, because he needs to figure out where he wants to jump prior to the kick, right? Because the guy could be looking, and I usually do this. I look at right when I'm about to kick the penalty kick, but then I know I'm putting it on the left. So it's like
It's like little snake eyes.
exactly.
Yeah.
What I find astonishing is crazy is that England ended up switching, and they put two of their strikers in last. It was like right before the end of the game, just to kick the PKs, and they're the ones that missed the PK as well.
That one kid was like 19 years old. I thought. Wasn't
Yeah,
he? He was like a
he's
young
young.
guy.
They're I mean they're good. I didn't know they were gonna miss the PKs, but the goalie's good too.
Wouldn't you?
So
Wouldn't you be better off just kicking it down the middle?
no.
That's
No.
what I was
No.
just
like,
thinking.
look right,
No,
and just
no,
kick
no.
it. 'cause
I
he's
was
gonna die and
literally-
play the ball.
With
I
a
was
keeper
thinking
like
the
that,
exact
no.
same thing. Why would you not
Why
just
wouldn't you
kick
just
it down?
do it right down the
because the
middle?
goalie automatically dives to one side
Yeah,
of the net.
like-
Sometimes
I would
I
just
mean,
kick it
so the
straight.
goalie is like waiting. So if you ever see obviously whenever you guys see PKs again, they're always standing like on their tippy toes, waiting for the kick.
Mhm.
So if they feel like the ball is going to the middle, they usually just stay, and then they don't dive all the way. So I mean that's when their luck comes into play as well, because if they're flying to one side, but I mean the penalty kicks, the skill comes on the taker as well, because when they're placing the goals, like I mean you see Italy, there were shots, like they were going to the top right hand corner, to the top bottom corner, like the 90s like angles, like, and there were fires. Like England ended up like soft touching one, soft touching the other. You can't do that on a PK at a final. So it's like
Wow.
They just England sucks.
no.
Obviously.
History says they have been. England sucks since 1966. Let's be history.
If they're not going to
Yeah.
win, if they're not going to win in
In
England,
England,
at
at your
Wembley,
own
they're
stadium?
never going to win.
It's just hard.
It's over.
It's like
It's
like,
over.
You
it's
lost.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean it's.
That was like
You
the
lost.
that's like the Cleveland Indians chance in the World
England
Series.
hasn't
You
won.
had David Beckham, you
England
had the
hasn't won
whole, like,
shit
you
since
had
the
Prince
Revolutionary
Harry.
War. They haven't won anything since the Revolutionary War.
Oh,
Once they lost the
man.
Revolutionary War in the United States, they haven't won soccer since then.
No,
So
they were in there.
Miserable.
They won. I wanted England to take it because of that too. So like same thing as Argentina. I wanted Messi to take it, and I can't believe Messi missed that goal when I think he was just trying to like run the keeper. And I don't know if you have soccer fans in here, but
I watched Portugal lose.
Oh my god, that hurt.
I like to watch
That
the
was
Premier
rough,
League.
man.
I'll jump in on Premier League games when they're on, like because that's like really good soccer. Like
Yeah.
that is like what was that like top some of the
That's
top,
the best league in the
best
world.
league, right?
Non-international league, right?
No, I mean there's different. So teams just play different all across. So you have different managers, different teams. But I mean the best, I guess, the way to put it is, I guess the best technique and how they play, like as a team. Yeah, Euro will be better because they pass the ball, they make different plays. It's just like they have better strikers. They're putting money into the teams. Like it's just fun to watch compared to when you watch a team in like South America. They are very passionate, but then sometimes they don't sweat the jersey as they should. And
Yeah.
It's just like
Well, the Olympics coming up here soon, right? There's
Yeah.
Are all those teams qualified to play in the Olympics? too?
No.
No?
It's a certain number of teams that.
I don't think
qualify.
the U.S. Did the U.S. even make it to the Olympics? Are they in the Olympics? I don't think the USA.
So these teams that played in the Euro Cup, they're not going to be playing in the Olympics.
Some
Some of them
might.
probably will, right?
Some might, and then
But your England's and Italy's and
Yeah, some might. I haven't checked the list. I don't really watch the Olympics when it comes to soccer.
Because it's trash.
No.
It's either World Cup, Premier League.
Is the Olympics for soccer? Is it pretty dumbed down? Is it not as intense as?
It's still intense, but I feel like I don't get to the point of watching it as
true.
I should. But when it comes to the cups, I mean, they come twice. Like they come only every 2 years. The World Cup every 4 years.
Well, the World Cup is what, next year? I think.
2022.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun in Dubai.
Is that?
Well,
that is in Dubai, huh?
Yeah, dude.
You gonna fly?
And
Is that during the summertime? That's gonna be hot as shit.
The next World Cup is in United States.
Really?
States,
and Orlando is probably gonna host. So
I'll tell you what. So
that's gonna be
man,
fun.
we definitely gotta try to go.
Try to work that game.
Orlando is I would say it's a very soccer conscious city.
It's starting.
Which one?
Orlando.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
There's a lot of soccer fans in Orlando, man.
I guess it's got to be like so many international people.
Correct.
Like that's why they love soccer so much. Like you got the World Cup. Like we've gone down like Wall Street during like the World Cup, packed. Even they host like block parties all the time for every soccer cup.
Yeah,
it's like crazy.
I mean, it's good. I mean, it's different. I mean, Orlando's so cultural. You have a lot of people from different countries. I mean, you have. I was telling you earlier, like you have 1.16 people that migrated from outside of the U.S. legally, and just from outside countries, and it's just different culture here. And that was in 2016. So it's
definitely more.
Yeah, definitely more now. But it's there's a lot of culture. There's a lot of people from Brazil. There's a lot of people from Costa Rica, Ecuador. I haven't seen that many. I don't know.
Costa Rica, man. For their soccer game the other day, they had a pretty decent following for sure.
Yeah.
I was pretty impressed.
Dude, I'll tell you.
And Jamaica,
it's fun.
actually.
Yeah,
there's a lot of fans.
Was the stadium packed?
No, not at all.
No.
Well, I mean, then again, it's like COVID side. Like when you watch the game for, what was it, Argentina and Brazil, it was almost empty. So
and I feel like these international tournaments are definitely chippier, since they're playing for their nation.
Yeah.
There was
so like prior to COVID, like if you see the stadiums, it's double or triple the size of Orlando City. It'll be packed. And like you'll feel the stadium, so that also has something to do.
But Wembley was huge.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, and then those stadiums are packed.
It was packed.
So it's like, the adrenaline you get behind it is pretty good. And then the cheering afterwards, like Argentina just like kind of had fireworks for 3 days straight, and people partying in the city, and it's
awesome.
So I'm a Cleveland sports fan, so I'm used to losing. So if I
kind of like Ecuador, right?
Okay. Outside of the Cavs 2016 finals and the Browns Super Bowl that they're going to win this year, like Cleveland sports are horrible. So if I'm going to pick a soccer team, I want to be a front runner. What is the best soccer team in the world that I need to be a fan of, so I can know that I can win?
I mean,
put pride aside.
Bayern.
Put your teams aside. Unless they are the greatest team in the world, give me the number one team I should be a fan of if I want to be a fan of a winner.
I'm German, so I'm a Bayern Munich.
Oh man, that's a good team. My brother actually loves that team.
Bayern's good.
That's his favorite team. So you don't like Borussia Dortmund? That's a good team too. Borussia Dortmund is a good team on the German side.
I don't know. Honestly, Bayern Munich's the only team that I know.
I would say if you're going for, I would say Real Madrid for me. My favorite team though is not Real Madrid. My favorite team is Manchester United. But same thing, like Cleveland, I haven't seen them once since like Cristiano Ronaldo was there. So.
Which is closer than than any Cleveland team has ever won outside the Cavs. So.
I mean, they do win here and there, but it's just like
you watch Ted Lasso? You watch Ted Lasso?
Yes.
It comes out. It comes out
awesome,
this month.
Season 2 comes out soon.
One of the greatest. I've said this. One of the greatest shows I've ever watched.
It's awesome.
And I'm not even a huge soccer fan.
It's just such a positive. Yeah, that's the thing too. Like I'm being like not huge into soccer. Yeah. Being that into the show says something.
Dude, the writing on that was like so good, and like Jason Sudeikis, he is such a good actor. And like everything about that, and they said there's only 3 seasons. I already know how it's gonna end.
Yeah.
We know how it's gonna. If it's only 3 seasons,
They're only running it for 3 seasons.
that's what they said. Yeah.
Obviously, he's going to
So
win.
So they're gonna.
in
So
America.
they got
He's gonna
deregulated.
go
So
back
right,
to
they got
Europe, and he's gonna
deregulated,
win.
which they should probably implement deregulation into some of these American sports, like maybe like football or basketball. Imagine like basketball, like you're the worst team, you get the number 1 pick, and then you immediately get deregulated into like the G League. Like how miserable would that be, right? Anyways, that sounds horrible. What Ted Lasso is
It's a good.
It's awesome,
It's a good
yeah.
show.
like that last episode of season 1.
Everybody should watch it.
Everybody should watch
Everyone
Ted
should.
Lasso. Like
Yes.
the last episode of season 1 was one of the most heartbreaking. Like
I
the last
literally wanted
2
to
minutes.
cry.
You're like, I literally wanted to cry.
I wanted
you
to
picked
cry.
this show the words
Man.
correctly.
You did
It's like
cry.
I was crying like a
You
baby.
did.
I might have cried.
There's like parts like when he broke down because obviously he's going through like a. If you haven't seen it by now, spoiler alert, or I'm going to talk about it. But when he was like at the
Yeah,
club
pause.
and he like had like the breakdown outside the club, and you're like, for the guy to be the most like positive human in the entire show to have like a complete breakdown, and then have someone like kind of save him, like she stepped in, like saved him, like that was like a monument. Like
I
was
love
like,
it.
That was amazing. Like my heart was so big. The feels was real.
All right, where's the tissue box?
Yeah, get a little sappy on this one, but
Oh,
no. But
man.
when it comes out like July 23rd,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
next week it comes
Yeah,
out.
man.
So
I can't wait for that.
I
show.
will binge watch that one
I
in a
can't
heartbeat.
wait.
My goodness.
So, but going back to, just like international soccer, the thing that I respect about it a lot is if you look at United States, like the United States has every sport that you can imagine. But if you do like Team USA in any of these tournaments, there's not one sport where the entire country would back it. And like if they won the gold medal or they won the championship in something, like say the Euro Cup. Like if we had an equivalent to a Euro Cup for the United States, we don't have something like that. Like there's not something if United States sports team won, the entire nation would just erupt.
I mean, and that's you guys have football, so that's the
Yeah, but that's individual teams. Though.
Right.
That's not like a.
But then that's the USA national soccer team.
Like,
if
if they
that
were-
were to happen,
if USA.
If
That's the
you-
thing. That even if Team USA soccer won, I don't think this
I think so.
country.
Oh yeah.
I don't.
That
I
year,
don't think
the
so.
one World Cup where they went like the Sweet 16 or whatever, they beat was it Ronaldo was on. They beat Ronaldo and like was that
Portugal.
Portugal? They beat him. I was at Wall Street for that. People were going nuts. Like if U.S. soccer, like that's you gotta think like soccer is like the only underdog sport the United States has in all reality.
It really is.
the most
Absolutely.
Which
Yeah,
sport
definitely.
in the world, and I mean that is football. Like I
Which
mean,
is crazy, yeah.
But they call football.
Which is amazing to think, like the
This
with the-
handball.
yeah, with the amount of people that we
I love
have
football too, though.
in the United States, the fact that our soccer team is just so bad. Well, I wouldn't say so bad, but
They're good.
They're
good. They
not-
have good players.
They have good, well that one guy. They have that one guy he plays for a German team, or no, he played for Premier League. The young guy that they have, I forget who. He
I
plays
don't
for.
I know who you're talking about.
But we have like 1 or 2 good players, like period. But you would think like United States, with the amount of people we have, you could find how many people are on a soccer team?
So you have 11 people in the field.
11
and
on
then
the
you have,
field,
like, outside,
probably
like
20
5,
people.
6,
8.
and then more.
The
yeah.
fact that
something
we
like
can't, with all
It's a
the
small bench.
athletes,
It's a
that-
very small bench.
Yeah,
The
I mean
fact-
they have enough players because I mean you have like 3 subs, you have like things like that. So you have more players out, but then it's
Well,
kinda
once you
weird to
sub
say,
out,
like,
you
they-
can't go back in, right?
No, yeah,
That's the
Yeah,
thing,
Once
yeah.
you sub out, you stay out.
like with all the people that we have in this country, we are unable to find 20 people that are like top line soccer players.
But that
It's
just
like-
shows how
crazy.
good international soccer is in European countries and South
yeah.
America, and I mean,
Like all
we're
these-
dominant in so much stuff, but we can't figure it out in soccer.
we cannot. It's unreal.
Because it's a different.
And it's so-
Because that's like South America and Europe. That's like what they have. Like it's soccer. We have so many
I don't know,
different
also
sports.
have-
that
what
you
is it?
can play.
Cricket and all
Cricket
the other stuff?
in
I'm
India,
like-
they have
Cricket
cricket
and
in
tennis.
India and
England,
tennis.
tennis.
Like,
I mean-
but like everybody plays soccer. Like, I
but
played
it's the most-
when I was a kid. I played soccer. Like, it's like the easiest sport.
I've never played
outside
soccer.
of basketball. It's like the easiest sport. You just kick a ball. Like I'm not.
Oh,
it's
here
hold
we
on.
go. Oh,
As a
boy.
basic-
I'm
as
trying
a
to
basic-
See, all you do is just kick a ball.
But no, like,
it's like
as you get
baseball.
up-
All you do is just throw it and hit it.
Yeah, that's all you have to do. It's a
yeah.
simple
Oh,
game.
God.
It's a simple game.
I mean, when you were
Oh,
three-
boy.
Anybody could play soccer.
It's like basketball. All you do is just shoot it through a hoop.
It's a
easy.
simple concept, soccer.
It is
So you just
simple
run
concept.
around, You kick a ball and you act like you're hurt half the time.
Oh,
Literally.
jeez. We're taking
That
shots.
is soccer.
It's a drink talking now.
Oh, man.
That is it. That's the sport right there.
See, but like
jeez.
for instance, if you go and play soccer with someone that plays soccer, then you're gonna be frustrated when they make you look bad.
Oh, they're going to make you look
Oh,
bad,
so
too.
I have a bad knee. All it takes is like
Yeah,
one.
done.
All it takes is one juke, and I'm looking bad. I don't have to wait anymore. Like I'll be on the ground, broken, and I will be the one hurt, and I will say, "Hey, that guy has a penalty on that guy for making me look bad." That should be how it
That's
works.
funny.
So,
Wow.
what are we on right now?
We're at an hour already.
Already,
Wow.
we didn't even touch like on anything crazy that happened in the world. I wanted to hit on one thing.
Yeah.
We watched. We talked about this in world news. Like sometimes we talk on topics. How does the ocean? We saw the ocean catch on fire twice.
Mhm.
This
Well, one was a volcano and
one was a volcano.
oil spill.
Yeah.
So how do they get the ocean to not be on fire anymore?
Spray water on it.
You put
Even.
water on the ocean.
Yeah.
That's how it went out.
As crazy as it sounds.
Yeah, like a bunch of fleet, and I think it was like National Guard and
It's airplanes, yeah.
Navy, and just
You dump water on it.
What do you?
Because it's not the water that's on fire, it's the oil
the
in the
water
water.
is on fire.
It's not
Literally.
it's not the
It's
water
not.
that's on fire, though.
Yeah, but like if you're putting
It's the oil.
it's
in
the
the
oil,
water.
the
In the
oil
water.
in the water
to put more water.
But-
to put more water in it to get the fire
But I
out.
don't think you can combine like oil and water. Like if you put oil and water in a cup, it would be
Correct.
separate. So it's
Correct.
not the water that's on fire, it's the separate oil around, but the water is like
But you put water on it to get it out.
the fire.
Does that make any sense?
put out the fire.
Yeah, to put out the fire.
to get
The
it out.
water
It's like, let's go
was
to break out
on
the fire.
and you just grab. What do you do? Grab the same
Imagine
water
just
and
like
shoot it?
floating with a life jacket. You got a little bucket and you're just,
Just
chucking
tossing
water,
water,
on the fire.
like the same water that's on fire. You're using it to put it out. Is that really what's happening right there?
I guess, man.
Good Lord.
Your guess is as good as mine.
I'll tell you what. That shows the Browns are about to win the Super Bowl this year. If the ocean can catch on fire, like you know how they say if like if hell froze over, the Browns would win the Super Bowl. If the ocean is catching on fire, the Browns are winning the Super Bowl this year.
Well, there's been a lot of
That's a-
ocean fires.
Has there been a lot? Is there like a? We know this. We have like a lot of
yeah,
things.
oil
So
rigs.
I ended up
Oil
saying-
rigs catch on fire.
I ended up
a lot.
I think
Not
I read,
a lot, but
I don't know a lot of information on that one, but I was reading that apparently that company itself had previous oil spills as well in the
I'm
ocean.
sure.
So it's like it's something dealing with that.
It's just an oil.
That's when you
spill.
gotta be like, okay, so now you gotta turn off your factory because that's killing the animals. I do a lot of scuba diving, so that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. So then that hurt me because I was like, I like to go out and see marine life. I wanted to be a marine biologist. I didn't take that route because my dad was like, it doesn't make any money. But it does. I mean, it depends if you're good, I guess. But it does. Obviously, that's gonna affect the animals in the sea. That's gonna affect Mother Nature. That's gonna affect the corals. That's gonna affect a lot of things. And like, that's not good.
I think Lake
it
Erie
sucks.
caught on fire up in
The-
Cleveland. Typical Cleveland. I think that whole lake caught on fire one time because of pollution.
See.
Man.
But still, like I just don't understand how you can put it out with the same water that's on
So
fire.
that means
No.
Cleveland is not going to win the Super Bowl.
Well, that was a long
That's
time
what
ago.
I'm
That
saying.
was a
Because
long-
it happens.
So the volcano happened after the oil rig, right?
Huh?
The volcano happened after the oil rig, or was
The
the volcano first?
I don't know. It was like a week. It was only like a week or two
Fucking hell.
separation. I don't know which
Global
one.
warming.
That was Mother Nature
Global-
being mad about
Yeah,
that.
she's pissed off.
Yeah,
She's
it probably
pissed off.
honestly it probably was.
She's
yeah.
like, all right, you're gonna catch my ocean on fire. I'm gonna just light this volcano up and go for it.
That's pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Dude, you see that? And then I guess we can probably end it. But you talked about.
the water.
Huh?
I still don't know about the water on water.
I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't
Still
understand
on.
how the same water that could be on fire is
I
being
would've said
used to
put
put out
sand.
the same water.
Or no, maybe.
It
Huh?
doesn't make any. Because
Yeah, but the water that the fire is on is not touching the fire. The fire is not lighting the water on fire. It's lighting the oil on fire.
Correct. So why can't the water put itself?
Because the water is displaced by the oil.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. All
It
right.
should never have gotten to that point. It should have been out. It should have been out before it caught on fire. That's all I'm saying.
No,
You're probably you're right on that.
I don't know about
I will
all
say.
those
Did you see?
space.
You said you scuba dive. Did you see that one? What was it? Dubai or whatever had they opened the largest scuba
Oh my-
pool.
Yes.
Have you
What
seen
is this?
Look this up. Look this up right here. World's largest scuba
Pool in Dubai.
pool. Is it Dubai?
It's in Dubai. Yeah.
This thing is wicked. Dude, we're gonna put an image on when we edit it. We'll have the image that shows us. Dude, this thing is like deep, and it's like somewhere. It's like a building.
Like here or like here.
It'll probably be like right here. It'll probably be in the front. That's generally where the articles go. They go like the images go like right here in the front. But look at it's like literally when they say under. Look at this
thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
a pool.
That's a pool.
That you can scuba dive in.
Yes.
Wow, that's
it's
awesome.
the world's
They got
largest,
cars under there.
Yes.
It honestly looks like a town. Like
Well, they said it was
like you could live down there.
It's an underwater city. This is how it's going to be. You know what? I would live underwater.
I think that would be amazing.
If you can
honestly.
breathe.
Yeah, if you put like little
What are you,
bubbles,
Aquaman?
like if you put like little bubble, yeah,
like this,
I would
dude.
do
Like
it.
that's your house right there.
Like you're just chilling, you just
Could
put
you
on the snorkel
imagine?
gear, and then you just like you have like a little room that like when you get into the room, you close the door and it sucks all the
there's-
water out, and so like, you live and you're like walk around. But then as soon as you want to jump in, you just put your scuba gear on, and you just go.
They need to invent. So they need to invent something.
Whoa!
Oh, this is
The dogs are getting wild.
They're like, hey, it's been a nap.
Yeah, right.
They need to invent something like I don't know if you watch Star Wars.
Yeah, I do.
So you saw how they ended up getting that. It was like something small like this, and they put it on their mouth, and then that kind of gives them the oxygen.
Yeah.
They need to invent something like
They
that.
do.
They have something?
Like something that would take the water, the oxygen from the water, into it,
Oh,
change it
that's
into
another-
oxygen, and then you're swimming.
That's
as
another
you're-
story.
like
I was
gills.
just
Yeah.
saying, instead of getting a whole tank, just
Yes.
get like a small scuba oxygen tank right here.
That's it. That would be
Just
sick.
wear this mask and then you
yeah, dude.
And I think what you would,
Down.
well, like it would be like fish gills, right? So like
I need to
that's
patent
how
that. We're
that's
gonna
what you do. It. You put it in there, and as you go through the water, it takes the water, turns
It's
it
the
into
next
oxygen, and you
business.
just breathe. You never run out. So, well,
Man.
an
Wow.
hour. Hey,
That was
how
good.
fast did you?
Hey,
Do you think we've been talking for an
Flies
hour?
by, man.
no, it did. I did not.
It's just
Did
It's
not.
quick.
it's
That was
quick.
quick.
It's easy. It's quick, man.
I
It's
think it was
fun.
very.
It's a good time.
Well,
it was a good time.
so
Sundays might have to stick.
Sundays are gonna stick. We're gonna do
Yeah.
Sunday fun days on the podcast.
Sunday fun day on
Yep.
the podcast. All right.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Well, here we go. That was number 11. Jose, thanks for joining us today.
Absolutely,
Thank you guys for
man.
having me.
You,
Yeah,
I'll
it was
tell you what, it was
great
a
host. Great host, honestly.
Great guest.
Great guest. That's what
Great information. Most intellectual.
Great host.
Great
Welcome,
host.
guys. Welcome.
How was it about us? He's like, hey, we're doing
Yeah,
we
great
killed
host.
it. We killed it today. We killed it today.
Yeah, great guest.
Yeah.
Learned
All
a lot.
right.
It was good.
There it is.
All right.
Number 11. We
See
did
ya.
it.
Peace.
Out.